Hi, I'm Michelle Burnler from the Western Australian Association for Mental Health. As part of the WAAMH NDIS Sector Readiness project, today I'll be talking to you about NDIS terms. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which this is being filmed, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and acknowledge that this is Aboriginal land which was not ceded. I also extend that respect and gratitude to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people here today. I would also like to acknowledge the courage and contribution of those with lived experience, both lived experience of mental distress and of caring for someone with mental distress. We stand on the shoulders of giants, and the consumer movement really has come such a long way thanks to the people who have put such an effort in, and we appreciate the effort that has been made. So let's get into some acronyms. The NDIS is full of acronyms, and we want to just explore and unpack what they all mean. So the first is the NDIA. NDIA stands for National Disability Insurance Agency and is the agency that manages the finances and the plans of the NDIS. The NDIS refers to the National Disability Insurance Scheme, so that's the scheme itself. And then we've got the Quality and Safeguarding Commission, or the National Disability Insurance Scheme Commission, also known just as the Commission. Now, the Commission is separate from the NDIA. The Commission really deals with quality and safeguarding, so keeping people safe and making sure that they are well looked after and that their dignity of risk and their rights are protected. The next two I'd like to explore are SDA and SIL, or SIL. SDA stands for Specialist Disability Accommodation and refers to the bricks and mortar, so the houses that people are living in. These are houses that require special builds, so they might need to be robust. For example, if someone has behaviours of concern that cause them to do damage to walls and windows. SIL, on the other hand, is Supported Independent Living, and this is really the staff who are supporting people in those houses or in their own homes. So SIL refers to the people that are supporting you, but SDA refers to the environment in which that support is taking place. Everyone who's in SDA will generally have SIL, but not everyone on SIL will have SDA, because some people will be living with family, friends, on their own in their own home and don't need a robust build, for example, and therefore will just have SIL in that environment. The next one I'd like to talk about is assistive technology, AT. You'll see this in a lot of occupational therapist reports, and they'll talk about AT. This could be things like a wheelchair for a physical disability, but in the psychosocial space we're often talking about alarms or timers to remind people to take medications, scheduling apps on your phone, calendar apps, apps that maybe help with mindfulness or other mental health related concerns. We've also got STA and MTA. So STA is short-term accommodation, and this is both the environment and the supports needed for someone to take respite. So STA can only last up to 14 days, and it's called respite because often, we need a holiday to clear our heads and take care of ourselves, and STA offers that. It can only be up for up to 14 days. A lot of people take STA and go, out of the city in which they live and really enjoy that time. It also gives a break for any carers as well. So the next one is MTA, medium-term accommodation. Medium-term accommodation can last up to 90 days and must be approved by a planner. So in order to qualify for medium-term accommodation, you must have a home that is nearly ready but not quite ready for you, and then it will be approved generally. MTA is much harder to get than STA, and it lasts longer, it's up to 90 days. Okay, the next three are ones that often get confused. We have Mission Australia, Wansley and APM. The local area coordinators who work for those partners in communities are sort of connectors. They work with people to develop their plan, ensure their plan is up and running, and check in with them. This doesn't always happen in practice, but that's the theory of the position. And the reason it doesn't happen is because LACs are often overloaded with a large caseload. A planner, on the other hand, works for the NDIA directly. So they don't work for a partner in community, they work for the NDIA. And they are responsible for either developing someone's NDIS plan or approving and amending the plan before it is given to the person. The next two are ones that also often get confused, and that is support coordinator, SC, and psychosocial recovery coach, or RC. A support coordinator is someone who connects someone with services and makes sure those services are appropriate for the person. They help them navigate their NDIS plan. A psychosocial recovery coach, on the other hand, is similar to a support coordinator in that they connect people to services and make sure those services are appropriate, but they also do mentoring and coaching of the person. The psychosocial recovery coach can only be given if someone's primary disability is psychosocial disability. Some psychosocial recovery coaches have lived experiences, others have learned experiences. Typically, you won't see someone get support coordination and recovery coaching, you'll get one or the other. And in the psychosocial space, we generally see recovery coaching. That said, there are always exceptions to the rules. And we do see some people with, say, a level 3 support coordination, so intense support coordination for maybe 12 hours, and then the person will also get 50 or 100 hours of psychosocial recovery coaching. The next two are ones that we cover in later webinars, and they are BSP and PBS. A BSP is a behaviour support plan. This is a document created by a PBS practitioner. PBS stands for Positive Behaviour Support. A PBS practitioner works alongside a person with behaviours of concern to help them address those behaviours of concern and help the family and people around the person be best supported to limit or eliminate those behaviours of concern. So in doing that, the PBS practitioner will develop a BSP, a behaviour support plan, and within that behaviour support plan will be tips for how staff and carers should interact with the person and what to do if the person gets escalated. There will also be any regulated restrictive practices included in that BSP. So the final terms I'd like to talk to you about today are RP, ARP and RRP. RP is a restricted practice. We have a webinar coming up about what a restricted practice is, but there are 5 types of restrictive practice that exist: seclusion, environmental restraint, mechanical restraint, physical restraint and chemical restraint. And ARP is an authorised restrictive practice. This is the restrictive practice that has been authorised in the state. So here in Perth, we're talking about the state of WA, and it has been deemed as necessary by state legislation. RRP, or regulated restrictive practice, refers to the restrictive practices that have basically been okayed or regulated by the NDIS Quality and Safeguarding Commission. And remembering that the Commission is separate from the NDIA, so they're really about quality and safeguarding and keeping people safe. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you'd like to learn more about the NDIS terms that we've discussed, you can explore them on our Care Hub Sector Legacy Toolbox. The Toolbox has a range of tools, frequently asked questions, and self-paced learning modules, so you can explore these concepts in more detail. If you scan this QR code, it will take you directly to the Care Hub Toolbox. Clarity and simplicity are the antidote to complexity and uncertainty. We hope that this has clarified things for you, and we look forward to seeing you in future webinars. Thank you.